this came out of the blue for me. I had known Bill for years, but had no sense of what his involvement was with the energy business that we were talking about. I met Bill's father several times, who was a very charismatic guy and a very intense gentleman. I was introduced to him and then to Ian Thomas in the hopes that we might make a film together. I was a young, idealistic filmmaker at the time and felt that it needed to be done, this story needed to be told. Ian was a very gregarious, very Welsh gentleman with that lovely Welsh accent, but when he spoke, every word had weight. He really made his points, and it didn't take me long to realize that this was somebody special. And I, again, wanted to tell his story. I was introduced to, firstly, his father, and then Ian, secondly, is that we'd established this kind of rapport, because this was a family secret, you know, really. So I was quite amazed at the scope of it. And I had no idea who Bill's father was in the intelligence community, so I learned perhaps more than I should have about who I was dealing with. From my point of view, the potential for the good that this could bring to a world that was just beginning to talk about things like energy crisis, like, you know, and beginning to understand about global warming, the Club of Rome. And I thought, God almighty, you know, here we have this theoretical solution and there's a very real problem, so somebody better talk about it. You know, I felt it was immediately, urgently necessary.
We must keep in mind here that we are not dealing merely with a new invention. Our discovery represents a new view of the universe and our place in it. A scientific theory basically is a set of premises which seeks to explain a certain set of data. Now, if the data is brought to light or found or discovered which contradicts that theory, we change the theory, not the data. Unfortunately for us, the second law has provided such a far-reaching base of technological development over the years that data contrary to it is actually legislated against.
So CBC did it? They did air it. Their complaint, to take it further, was that it was skewed heavily in the believing that this is real versus playing the pro-con journalist approach. So, but, you know, they still did air it.
It is irrevocably